Well, hello, fellow Earthlings. Welcome to another episode of Don't Do What I Did. I was going to leave it at 5 episodes, but I keep getting requests to do a few more, so how can I not do that and deprive people of my foolishness? Well, we're sitting down here and we have more snow. It was melting a bit yesterday, but there's still 16 feet of it outside my window. And like I did in a wonderful weather report video the other day, there will be no spring where I live because there's no way all the snow is melting. So we'll just skip over that season this year. So yes, I am busy doing recording down in the basement and having some fun. Posted some videos. Thank you for watching those videos of performance video of one of my songs called Space Invaders from a Sponge Planet. Yes, I love sci-fi. And the little drum lesson that I posted with some updates and some other Glenisms in it. Thanks for watching those. So today, let's see where we can start with this. Don't volunteer to do shit. When you're in a band, when you're a musician, don't volunteer. That is a steep cliff that ends abruptly if you're not paying attention. I'm a sucker for volunteering for shit that ends up blowing up in my face. Yep. Never do that kind of thing. I'm sure many have done it. You volunteer, you regret it, and it haunts you the rest of your life. So for me, I have this nasty habit volunteering to play drums for people on projects, in bands, and unfortunately, either they train wreck right from the get-go, weren't thought out, or you find out over the months you're with a bunch of non-friends. Yes. Sad to say. Why us humans can't see the flags ahead of time is beyond me. I always find out after the fact. After I've committed, and should be committed, for making the commitment. So yes, when I'm sitting at home and that phone rings in the mid-afternoon, it's going to be one of two things. It's going to be Bell Canada trying to get your service back, or it's going to be a musician wanting something. The dreaded call. You should just lay there on the sofa and just avoid that phone call, but why the hell are you paying for it anyway? So you may as well pick it up, right? So yes, I remember answering the phone one time and voice on the other end was, "Hey, we're looking for a drummer. Would you know any?" rather than just give out some names and sending them along the way. No, I was stupid. I said, hey, I'm not doing anything. What do you got in mind? I'll volunteer. Ooh! Don't do that. Don't do what I did. Volunteering is the worst trapped cage you can be in. Because you didn't find out any information. You didn't find out all the details. You just went right in there, bit, and away you go. You're on that big slide of uncertainty. So yes, I bit into it. Learned all the songs. Realized that half the gigs that were booked were free. So all that work is for free. How can you volunteer and then say, no, I'm not going to do those gigs? But you volunteered, you dummy. It's like, who does gigs for free? Yes. I don't mind doing charity gigs for free. That's for a good cause. But doing gigs for free to make money for the organization that's related to music, so they're making the money and you have to do it for free, and they're a music-based thing. How does that work out? Well, I didn't know this, and I did quite a few of them because I volunteered. So I was stuck. Music for me is an income. Some people I'm associated with don't understand that. This is an income thing for me. To play music, I need money. To live. Yes, that's what a lot of musicians do. It's a living. So yes, I volunteered, did some fun shows, but did more free things than I had bargained for. Yes, and just when you do all the homework and all the favors and letting the band use your gear, for shows, then you find out your volunteer work meant nothing. You get the pink slip. So yes, don't volunteer, because that color of pink on paper is waiting for you at the end at some point. And then, after getting the pink slip, you get asked again to do, guess what? Another free thing, like nothing's happened. Thank God I said no. But yeah, there are people out there that see bozo written across your forehead and the name Glen. This comes to mind, and it's like, he'll do it. He'll do it. He's a dope. He'll do it. And yeah, I did it. So don't do what I did. Waste a few years of your life on free gigs and what do we call those kind of friends? Paper thin friends, I guess. Yeah, you gotta watch those. Know what you're getting into. do your homework, do your research, ask a few questions. I didn't. I just said yes. I'm available. Yeah. Okay, next one. Don't make deals. Do not make deals with people in the band. Stay away from that shit. Do not fall for that. There is no escaping those deals. Once you say yes to it, you're stuck. You almost think it's like the volunteer thing. No, this is a verbal contract. Don't get into those verbal contracts. Yeah. I was stupid. I trusted someone. And while I performed my part of the deal with a show that I did not want to do, they reneged on their part of the deal. Thus, in my opinion, ending what little friendship was left. Yes. It's a brutal realization that some people and their egos are bigger than any deal and their word will ever be. And they don't care who they railroad into getting what they want. So yes, don't do what I did. I was stupid, like I've said many times. Do not make deals with people in the band. It wasn't even that long after that I realized I was taken for a ride. Screw those fuckers. Get away from them. Run while you can. They're out there. Lots of them. Thankfully, in my lifetime, I've only made a few deals like that. And I've gone 50-50 on it. 50% were bad, 50% were good. This last one, though, made my making deals openness a closed door. No more dealing with the old man. That would be me. No more. Too costly and not fun. So stick to your word. So let's see, what other goodies do we have? Don't do what I did. Don't play weddings. Do not play weddings. They are the most... I can't even think of the words. They are the most... They sound organized, and then they become slightly unglued. And I understand why they become unglued, because there are so many people that organize these weddings. But for a band situation, oh my goodness, for me the money is not worth it. Especially doing outdoor weddings. Have you ever done an outdoor wedding? All these weddings should have backup plans when they have entertainment, especially when they're outdoor weddings. Don't be like us. Say yes to a wedding when they don't have a backup plan, or they ignore the backup plan and keep you right where you are. And right where you are is on a transport or a hay bale trailer with the skies opening up in a torrential rain. Yes. If you all plugged into electric gear without your swimming trunks and no life preservers. Don't do those kind of gigs. You know they're going to go bad because 1, they're outdoors. 2, when you walk into the area you're supposed to play and there's no cover on it from either hot sun or rain, that should be your first signal, the first hit in the head that this could go wrong very quickly. And yes, I have done that. Now, you do have choices, but there's these weird things called contracts, which are always very, very good for protecting everyone involved, unless you skip some sentences and forget to do the dot the I's and add a period here and there. So don't do what I did. Don't do what I did. I should say, don't do what we did. We played some of these gigs. I remember getting sunburnt so bad from one that most of us in the band looked like tomatoes. We had heat stroke, and giant fucking ants this big loved the heat and were crawling all over the stage. Never seen anything like it in my life. I felt like I was in one of those bug horror movies. They were climbing on my drum set, they're climbing on my legs. You know, these ants were so big that if you stepped on them, they actually made a crunching noise. Yes. Don't do these kind of gigs. You're in the elements, you dope. Make a contract with shelter written on there in big letters. Please give shelter from the heat, the cold, the drownings, torrential winds and rain. Don't set the band up in low ground. Don't put the audience on the high ground. Yes. We've had to swim for it a few times. Well, I've done that with a few bands. We did a party for a birthday party. All great people for these. But no backup plan. We were in a gazebo, trapped, and this gazebo was on gratings. So the grating, even though the water wasn't coming into the gazebo on the flooring part, you could see it flowing under the gazebo like a river during this downpour. And of course, the wind and that brought all the rain in, and then our gear started to short out, just like a wedding we did. So then we get back to this, don't volunteer. Well, after these gigs either survived or where the plug was pulled, all your gear is wet, electronics are saturated, and things are starting to cut out. I volunteered to take all the gear home and take it apart and clean it all. Dry it all out from all its water accumulation. No one else in sight. I was washing all the cables, all the speakers, drying them all out in my yard for 2 days in my garage, taking them out in the daylight, taking them apart, toweling everything off, scrubbing all the sand and shit that was on them. Yeah, I volunteered to do that. Don't volunteer. Yeah, you don't have that help that you want. Nope, I did it all. All that's all forgotten though. So many people forget all these things, these wonderful volunteered things you do. They just forget, like you didn't exist. It's so nice to be loved, cherished. So don't do that. Make sure those gigs that you do, make sure you have escape plans. And if they do have an escape plan, I guess it would be make sure the band, as dumb as we are, make sure we follow it. Yes, there was one time I wish we had followed it. We didn't. We just went for it. A costly gamble. We were the dummies. Don't do what we did. Play those gigs. Alrighty, what do we got next? Don't do gigs just for the money. If someone flashes that big bag of money in front of your face, beware. Beware where you're playing, beware the venue, beware the people you're playing for. There is always a snag that things could go really, really wrong. Oh, yes. Yes, sir. I've been at a few of these shows where the money was so good. Oh, just line my pockets with the money, please. Give me those hundreds. I'll pass them around to the other bozos in the band when we said, we'll do this thing for you, for that. No problem. And then your gear gets broken and stolen. And need I go on? And then the police raids come and you're standing there with your lip hanging down on your chest going, what the hell is this bullshit? You don't understand that you just got suckered. Of course, you should get paid a down payment in front, but sometimes we're stupid musicians and we'll do it just on the honor system. Never do that. It will cost you. Always get some money up front. Yes. You just never know when things are going to go wrong. So, I was a dummy on a lot of those gigs. Some were my bands, and I even did that. And I regretted it. Having gear stolen and broken, by people that hire you. Not naming names. It's all in the past. It's all lessons learned. Very costly lessons learned. I think with all these "Don't Do What I Did" videos is trust is the issue. Trust is worth shit nowadays. You just have to look around. You can see it. You can't really trust too many people anymore. I don't know when that all happened, but yes. So I remember playing a gig, and guitar player's guitar got knocked over by strangers, and the headstock broke off it, and that was basically the end of the show. We never got paid because we weren't finished the show. The guitar never got paid for. The damages, you're out of luck. You can take it to court all you want, but they just consider it an accident, and you're shit out of luck. So money up front is a good thing. Down payment, contracts, although verbal contracts work, they do. Trust me, they do. But these are lessons learned. Sorry, kids, the music business has some rough edges if you're not careful. So we're going to leave it on a slightly funny note. With every band, there is the spouses, girlfriends, that, I'm not saying in every case, but I've experienced certain partners that for some reason get programmed that they are part of the band. I know that's kind of vague, but when a band gets together, the spouses, girlfriend, boyfriends with the members of the band are not part of the band. It's just like your job. If I'm working at an auto place, my wife is not part of the auto place if she's not working there. Just, you're not part of something just because you're associated with that person in said band. And in the years I've played, I've come across this, not often, but it's a scary moment when you see a bunch of Yoko Onos start to materialize right in front of your face. So don't do what I did. Don't be in bands where the spouses or the girl or boyfriends of said band members want control or have control. I was in a band where someone's girlfriend had that control. Don't do what I did. As soon as you see that, get the hell out. But no, I stuck with it, thinking that this can't be happening. This has to be a dream. Nope. This person had control over the songs you played. This person was in the audience listening to the band telling us how to correct things. This wasn't a recent band. And the funny thing is, this band has gone through probably every band member in this city I live in. And I'm sure the other band members experienced this also. Yes, there's nothing like you're playing a venue, and then on the break or even after the song, this person comes up and tells you, you shouldn't play that song anymore. The crowd's not into it. Yes, I've had that happen. Don't do what I did. Don't say, go fuck yourself. Don't ever do that. I did. Yes, but I'll have to say this. Felt damn good. Needless to say, the band was quickly changed after that as I took my exit. Because who wants to be in a band with a bunch of Yoko Onos? These Yoko Onos didn't even have the millions that the true Yoko Ono has. Yes, I have come across this more than once. Can you imagine going to your spouse's job and saying, yes, I'm part of this, when really you're just married to the person? I've also seen it where people think that because they're associated with a musician, that all the experience that the musician has automatically transfers to the spouse, even though they're not a musician. That's kind of screwy. I've seen that too. That's very haunting. Yes. And they would defend that way of thinking. It was truly amazing. So a person that's molded their craft, learned all the notes, learned how to play, tune the instruments, play the instruments, got all the bookings, that automatically transfers into that person, so they are the equal musician that this person is, having never played an instrument. Believe it. It happens. Yes, you think you're in an episode of The Twilight Zone. But yippers, those people are out there. So yes, my wife, while she helps the band, and at some points did sound and lights, she knows, and I know, that she is not the band member. The band members are already established. Just like a sound crew and roadies might work for the band, might be friends with the band, they are still not the band. Maybe some people would disagree with that, but I know my wife, she doesn't get involved in any of that stuff. She just doesn't want to. She loves to help, and when her help is welcomed, she's still just a spouse and a helper of the band, but not part of the band. So very, very interesting. So don't do what I did. Don't tell these people to go fuck themselves, because it creates quite the tension, as I found out. Yes, probably not a good thing to do, but sometimes things go too far and you have to put an end to it. Things like that should not happen, and you have to put an end to it. So, and it's like after a band divorce. Normally it's the relation to the musician that does all the jibber jabbering after the band has been deep sixed, by internal struggles. They're the ones in there adding gasoline on the flames. But needless to say, being a musician, all this time for me has been interesting. When I first started, it was simple. Learn the instrument, learn some music, go out and play for people, have fun, hopefully make $1, come back home. Then maybe someday you make it rich and famous. I never got that far. But you don't realize all this other shit is the baggage that goes with it. Don't do what I did. Don't be that naive balloon head that just thinks, well, I can learn an instrument, make a few bucks, have a good time. No, that's too simple. Music is very complicated. Oh, I could go into more. There's lots. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you enjoyed it more than I actually lived through it, because some of it having to experience it, especially watching your thousands of dollars worth of gear get externally washed by thunderstorms in a nice summer evening. It's not a good feeling. So, yeah, you're basically in I'm going to cry for a month, having lost electronic gear in the rain. Yep. Not a good feeling. I do have some video and stuff of some of these gigs and pictures, and we survived while the gear did not. We didn't get electrocuted, but anyways, live and learn. Peace. Take her easy.